The girl was in class when a crow suddenly crashed into the window. The classmates were all shocked, but the girl remained calm. She slowly looked at the scissors in her pen holder. After class, while her classmates weren't watching, she picked up the scissors and cut off the crow's head. A woman nearby saw this scene and smiled while giving the girl a thumbs up, as if praising her actions. The girl took the crow's head home, planning to turn it into a cute toy. Then a blue ring of light appeared outside the window, immediately catching the girl's attention. She curiously walked out of the house and found her deceased grandmother sitting not far away, with blazing flames burning beside her. The girl clicked her tongue lightly, then walked toward her grandmother in a daze. Luckily, her mother Ellie rushed over in time. After this incident, Ellie realized she had never moved on from the grief of losing her loved ones, and had neglected her daughter because of it. To stop the girl from wandering off again, Ellie asked her son Peter to take her to a party. Although he was reluctant, Peter still agreed. However, on the way, the girl kept making strange clicking sounds with her tongue, which made Peter very irritated. He just wanted to get to the party quickly and get rid of her. When they arrived at the party, Peter casually pointed to a cake nearby, telling her she could eat anything she wanted. Then he left her there alone. But not long after, the girl began to have trouble breathing. She immediately found Peter and told him about her symptoms. Realizing the danger, Peter quickly drove her to the hospital. However, on the way, her condition worsened. She opened the window to get some fresh air. The next second, Peter froze in horror, not daring to look back. He mechanically drove the car home. After returning to his room, Peter lay on his bed, unable to close his eyes all night. The next morning, he heard his mother's cries from outside. Clearly, she had found the girl's body. The couple held a funeral for the girl in grief. After losing 2 family members in a row, Ellie was completely devastated. The atmosphere at home became tense. She vented all her emotions and blamed Peter for the girl's death.
Well, now your sister is dead, but you can't take responsibility for anything. So now I can't accept, and I can't forgive, because nobody admits anything they've done.
What about you, Mom? She didn't want to go to the party. So why was she there?
Although her husband stopped the argument in time, Peter's words still made Ellie deeply hurt. If she hadn't insisted on sending her daughter to the party, this tragedy would never have happened. A few days later, Ellie met her mother's friend Lucy at the supermarket. They had met before at her mother's funeral. Lucy noticed how exhausted Ellie looked and took the initiative to comfort her. Under Lucy's persuasion, Ellie told her everything that had happened recently. After listening, Lucy said she knew a medium from whom she had learned a summoning ritual that allowed her to contact her deceased child. At first, Ellie didn't believe it, but under Lucy's strong insistence, she still followed her to her home to perform the ritual more effectively. Lucy gave Ellie a jelly bean to help her stay calm. However, Lucy had taken out a white jelly bean, yet Ellie noticed brown residue on her hand. She didn't think much of it, and soon began the ritual following Lucy's instructions. They first placed their hands on a cup. Then Lucy began to chant an incantation. The next second, something miraculous happened.
Louis, if you're here...
Then a line of writing appeared on the chalkboard. "Grandma, I miss you." Ellie was completely shocked. Frightened, she interrupted the ritual. But before she left, Lucy handed Ellie all the tools needed for the ritual, and carefully explained the precautions. Driven by her longing for her daughter, Ellie began to waver, so she accepted them. However, she didn't know that from this moment, her whole family had fallen into a terrifying trap. That night, Ellie suddenly woke up and found her bed crawling with ants. Confused, she got up to check, only to see all the ants crawling toward Peter's room. When she stepped forward, the sight before her left Ellie frozen in shock. Peter's face was covered with ants. Ellie screamed in terror. Luckily, Peter woke her up in time. Seeing him sitting safely on his bed, Ellie thought she was hallucinating, but then Peter asked his mother why she was afraid of him.
I never wanted to be your mother.
Fortunately, it had all been a nightmare. To ease the pain of losing her daughter, Ellie decided to perform the summoning ritual with her whole family. The family held hands and stood around the table. As the chant began, Ellie began calling out her daughter's name.
Charlie, are you here?
As the cup began to move, Ellie became excited, but Peter was terrified. Suddenly, Ellie began to scream. No matter how Peter tried to stop her, she wouldn't stop. Her husband hurriedly splashed her with cold water, which finally brought her back to her senses. But Ellie couldn't remember what had just happened. At that moment, she had no idea it was all part of a huge conspiracy, and the one behind it all was her deceased mother. Some people die but never leave. True horror begins the moment longing turns into obsession.